a topic that our business owners often come across, and we've seen it as well, is when your family and friends, you just don't feel you've got the right connection between the business and family and friends, and maybe you just don't feel you've got their support. And maybe that's not the right leading question, but it's how do you manage the family and friends, people around you, when you're building a business?
Yeah, well, typically people that don't own a business and much more don't own a successful business or run a successful business often don't understand what it takes to firstly start a business and get that off the ground, get it commercial, get it generating some income, and secondly what it takes then to continue to grow that business over time. And it's also very difficult to explain to those people that don't have it what it is that you go through, because the eyes start glazing over.
Here it's the story again.
And so it does become a lonely spot, and you become a little isolated in that other people really don't kind of get the commitment that you need to give to it, both financial commitment and time commitment, because those are the two key resources.
Yeah.
Right. Finance and time; those are the key resources in our life that we decide how we're going to, distribute those resources across business, across family members. And so they just don't get it.
And you start second guessing yourself as well, don't you? Get that. The trap is you could get that self-negative talk when you don't have that, feel you don't have that support and they don't understand, and you go, am I doing the right thing?
Through them trying to be kind and caring, they're actually often detracting from what's required. So, hey, take it easy. You shouldn't work so hard.
Yes.
Go and, hey, you deserve a day off. You've done well. You deserve a day off. Oh, look what you've done. You've done that. Well, the reality is that if you've started a business and your goal is probably much more than wherever it is when that person's saying that, having that day off, taking it easy, relaxing a little, is not going to help. In fact, it's very negative to what you want, and I think what happens is it becomes confusing. Because you're getting these mixed messages of people that often you respect their opinion, and you really need to go and recheck yourself and reframe the context around what that person's perspective and point of view is, because it's actually not necessarily the best thing
it's not
for
helpful.
business. So you really need to carve out who you think that you need to spend your time with, and who are those people that energize you and give you the information that really motivates you to keep digging in to grow and build that business.
So that's a lovely segue into something that we really believe in, is that business owners need to have an advisory board. Have a circle of people that can hold you accountable, bring their differing skill sets. One of them being a mentor, who's impartial, who has that helicopter view, can tell it to you straight, can give you that advice that you need, as against the people who are employed. But then there's the other people. There's people who can help you with your financial aspects, your banking, your accountant, legal team. Different people there that have the experience, can give you the skill set gaps that you have. That becomes your lovely moat of protection, your bubble that helps you to build this business. Because these friends and family, maybe you don't want to exclude yourself from them, and in some instances you don't want to do that. But you need to create that protection barrier around you that you go, actually, I'm okay, I'm good. And there's a very good chance that when you've got that and you're getting that great advice, then your confidence in your business grows, and you then can have a different conversation with your family and friends. And you then have you've exercised that muscle that you then can deal with the well-intentioned advice.
So you need to build that support team. You have a structure there. Ideally, if you have a mentor, can be your chairman in that business, the key advisors around there, and those are all people, that's your team that's supporting you. Now beyond that, you need to really filter out where you're getting your information from. I mean, who's communicating with you? Who's giving you advice about how you should spend your time, how you should spend your money, and whether you need downtime or not. And so And then also the other sources of media where you get your information, like you know, if you're off on starting your day, you're starting your journey for the day, and you get one source of media information that is contradictory to what thoughts you had in there, can really topple you if you're not built the strength of mind. If you're still new in business and you just pick up that one little bit of information, that one little headline that the journalist who wrote it had no idea how it was going to impact you, and actually probably just a distraction, may not even be founded on a whole lot of truth, but certainly a distorted statistic. You know, you've got to be able to go, like, hey, I'm going to get crap thrown at me all day long, and I just need to be really mindful of what I absorb. And if I think that it's going to be negative, I've got to push it out.
Move it out. And what that brings in my mind is the importance of what you do to get ready for the day. This is about mindset. I know you have a rhythm, there's exercise, there's eating well, all those sort of things, similar for me. And I know when I don't do those things, I'm not set up right for the day. So I don't actually look at the news first thing in the morning. I do my walking with the dogs, I do my meditation, I do my planning, you do something not dissimilar, but it sets us up for the right frame of mind for the day. I also exclude myself from, there's so much information out there about how to run a business. We're slammed with it. And there's some good stuff, but there's some not so great stuff. There's lots of empty promises out there. So you've got to have the awareness to know what's the information that serves you well. We serve you well, no doubt.
Well, what's the track record of the person where that information is coming from?
Exactly.
Again, if you're going home, talking to mum and dad, if you're talking to your spouse, auntie, uncle, whatever it might be, a friend, where is that information coming from? Filter through, am I taking information, if I've got this week guru that I'm going to go and talk to, what businesses have they run? What has been their track record? And work out what success they've got to draw from to impart the information to you.